Now it's time on this Monday to look at how markets started the week and what might be in store in the days to come. For that, we're joined on the line by Dr. Hwang Seiwoon, Research Fellow at the Korea Capital Market Institute. Dr. Hwang, thanks for making time today.
Good afternoon.
Well, today we learned that Hanjin Group Chairman Cho Yang-ho has died. It was just a couple of weeks ago that he was removed from the board of Hanjin subsidiary Korean Air. Walk us through the action today on the Korean stock market and the Hanjin chairman's death.
Okay, South Korean shares closed just a little higher Monday on optimism for trade talks between the United States and China. The benchmark KOSPI gained 0.04%, while KOSDAQ gained 0.03%. The index started on a strong note as both foreigners and institutions bought local shares amid growing hope for trade talks between Washington and Beijing. One of the most important stories in the Korean stock market today was the Korean Airlines chief's death. The company said Monday that Korean Airlines chairman Cho Yang-ho died of a chronic illness less than 2 weeks after he was removed from the national flag carrier's boardroom. Shares of Korean Airlines and its sister companies on Monday spiked on hopes that Chairman Cho Yang-ho's death would help improve the company's governance structure and force the company to unveil shareholder-friendly measures down the road. As of close, Korean Airlines rose 1.9% and Hanjin Car, the holding firm of Korean Air, shot up 20.6%.
Well, meanwhile, we see global stocks, including Korean stocks, getting a boost from reports, as you mentioned, that the U.S. and China are within reach of a deal on trade. What do you see happening there?
The U.S. and China have both claimed progress in talks to end their trade war, with President Xi Jinping pushing for a rapid conclusion and President Donald Trump talking up prospects for a monumental agreement that may still be some weeks away. The trade deal being crafted would give Beijing until 2025 to meet commitments on commodity purchases and allow U.S. companies to wholly own enterprises in China. Stocks were higher in the past week on the prospect that the trade talks would ultimately lead to a deal that could end punitive tariffs and boost earnings growth. In the United States stock markets, the S&P 500 rose 0.46% as of market close on Friday. The Dow Jones rose 0.15%, while the Nasdaq rose 0.59% on the same date. Today, Japanese shares dropped 0.21%, while equities in Hong Kong, Sydney, and Seoul moved in the opposite direction.
Okay, and it's not just those trade talks. Many world leaders are busy with summit diplomacy. You got summits between China and Europe, South Korea, and the United States coming up later this week. Can investors hope that this or something else will relieve some uncertainty?
Right. Top EU leaders meet Chinese Premier Li Keqiang this week at a summit in Brussels. But their hopes of winning solid commitments on the trade might look set for disappointment. Brussels is trying to beef up its approach to China as it shows little willingness to listen to long-standing complaints about the industrial subsidies and access to its markets. And as fears grow about growing Chinese involvement in European infrastructure, investors will also eye the Seoul-Washington summit scheduled for April 11th in Washington, D.C., and the release of the Federal Open Market Committee minutes to get cues to reorganize their portfolios. Markets will be looking at just how dovish the FOMC has become. The minutes should also show what Fed officials were considering when they decided to end the program to roll down their balance sheet, and bond traders are looking for clues on which type of treasuries the Fed will hold in its balance sheet.
All right, a lot to watch this week. As always, thanks for your insights, Dr. Hwang. We'll have to leave it there.
Thank you very much.